So my background is emergency medicine and surgery. I trained as a trauma surgeon and developed the program of emergency medicine na ngayon ay tinuturo na sa most of the government hospitals. And then I joined the government as an undersecretary from 2010 to 2014. And during that time, we were able to implement a strategy for universal health coverage which uses digital health or e-health. So naging akong member nung steering committee or the governance committee of that particular program. So undersecretaries lang po ang member niyan. President ng PhilHealth, secretary ng DOST, ICTO pa kasi noon. This is also a product of the ICT because at that time, it was actually called ICTO, hindi pa hiniwalay. Pero sila ang tumulong sa amin to implement that program. And after my work, of course, one of the top IT companies, hindi siya telecom got me to help them out because they wanted their foray into healthcare. If you've heard about Consulta MD and all other things that the telecoms want to do in health, pati ang smart. So they got me as an advisor for their corporate strategy and business development. You will soon see parang an overall healthcare plan of the Ayala group of companies kasama ang Globe doon and the real estate program in their hospitals. And because of this work, I became an advisor for Novartis Foundation. That is a foundation that gives away your leprosy medicines. They give it away for free all over the world. So it's a foundation, pero they wanted me to help them also help low-income countries develop an IT governance or an IT system. So tumulong ako dyan. And because of this work also, I'm always invited by the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine. Because most of the countries in the world implemented e-health on the hairball pattern. Nasa si Francis, wala. Yung hinayaan lang nila yung mga tao gumawa ng mga applications. Yung bawat ospital, bahala ka. And what it created was the hairball concept. So we are one of 9 countries in the world that implemented and started it with meron din tayong hairball. Pero nung nangyayari na yung hairball, ang sabi ng Secretary of Health noon, bakit pa ang daming pilot ng e-health? Paliparin nyo na yung aeroplano. So that's exactly what happened. So he said, we cannot fly the plane until you have a design or an architecture of that plane. Right now, I'm also an advisor for a startup. This is a small startup. This is a company that actually looked at what we were doing in the e-health and devised a way for EMR, hospital information system, and billing PhilHealth for Philippine hospitals. So wala akong financial interest sa COBIT 5. I don't own any stocks of that or whatever. Yung kasama ko, si Eloy Marcelo, is also a surgeon, but we diverted paths, mas diretso siya into IT. So TOGAP certified siya, Archimed, Seagate certified, and his whole world he's now a WHO consultant and the leader for AHIN, Asia eHealth Information Network. For your information, mas nauuna tayo sa Asia kesa sa Africa and Europe and North America in terms of e-health strategies. Bakit? Kasi ang gulo-gulo nung e-health implementation in all other countries. So we have the better possibility kasi ang daming players dun sa ibang countries. Madaming software, madaming platforms. So their integration is really a big nightmare. So dahil tayo middle income, meron tayong opportunity to actually grow and then overtake them. So that's what happened when we developed our national e-health standards. So kasama ko rin siya and he's now a member of ISACA. So ang aking competence in terms of my career as a doctor, so tama na yan. Makikinig na siguro kayo sa akin, ano? Sobrang ng pasikat yan. Ito naman si Eloy. Hindi na ako magpapasikat to. Just to tell you, COBIT 5 is copyrighted. So like ito, hindi nyo to pwedeng benta sa recto. Kasi baka i-demanda kayo ng ISACA. So if you're going to use it for personal in your agency. You can. It's actually open, but you just have to attribute, di ba? Kailangan mag-reference at i-attribute that the material came from ISACA or COBIT 5. So this is my plan for the next 6 hours. Kasi I have 800 slides. No, just kidding. No, I plan to release you in about an hour. So we'll look at the context of governance, IT governance, and our case study is really what we did in e-health or digital health. The newer term today is digital health. So napag-isahan na namin in the global community to call it digital health. Kasi meron niyang EMED, e-health, and dami lang name before. Then I'll talk a little bit about all the other IT governance frameworks. ISO 38500, COBIT 5, ISO TR 143639. So, but my main bulk of my talk is really about COBIT 5. And I think sold na rin ang DICT for COBIT 5 implementation and I agree na siguro ito ang i-recommend natin. And I'm telling you, I have no financial relationship with this. Wala akong conflict of interest dyan. Hindi ako salesman ng COBIT 5. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then there's a self-assessment. There's a website I will point to you that you can do a self-assessment of your agency. And then you can go to your secretary or big boss and say, ito ho yung mga kulang sa ating enterprise. So sino ba dapat ang kumuha ng COBIT 5 foundation course? So madaming courses yan. May foundation, may implementation course. For the IT people, hanggang implementation and all the other levels. But for the foundation course, we recommend that the board members of that corporation or the board of trustees of that foundation should understand COBIT 5 principles. Hindi naman sila kailangan ma-certify eh. Pwedeng ikaw, who is the CIO, will just give them a lecture or a short talk to explain all these principles. Kung government agency, I'll expect the secretaries to understand it, the chief executive officers, or kung ano, like kung president, executive vice president, chief financial officers, chief operations officers, COOs, and the CIOs or CXO yan kasi iba CTO ang tawag. May pababang title, CTO, CMO, CIO, CIT, or whatever. Basta yung guy which is there. And I'll explain to you in COBIT 5 where they are in that type of structure. And of course, the bulk of the people here, karamihan dito kayo nagbibilong. IT managers, corporate planning officers, so this is the bulk. But your bosses need to understand this. So what I expect is that you should have a conversation with your bosses after this particular 3 days and say, yung pinadala niyo ho sa akin na conference, ito natutunan namin at ito po ang mga kailangan nating gawin. Hopefully your action plan will be listened to and implemented. Kasi hindi naman yung mai-implement yan on your own. Tama ba? Pag sinabi nyo, gagawa tayo ng enterprise architecture. O sige, gawin mo mag-isa mo, sabi ng boss. Hindi mangyayari yon. Matagal po gawin yung enterprise architecture because sa amin parang 1 o 2 taon before nangyari and we had a lot of consultations to actually develop it. So anong gagawin natin? Let's provide the context for the need for IT governance. And in fact, ito yung kulang in most of where we are. It's not enough to hire a very good CIO. Kasi yung CIO has to report to the boss. If the boss doesn't know what the hell you're doing, yung pala nagpe-Facebook ka lang doon kasi in 1 hour tapos ka na doon sa pinagagawa niya. Di ba? So technically, the two of you have to be communicating with each other to align yourselves. So let's enumerate the various IT governance frameworks. Let's look at the case study for e-health. And let's identify triggers and pain points in your particular agencies that will initiate a better IT governance. Tama? Kasi kumbaga, kailangan may blessing ng boss nyo. Kung walang blessing ng boss nyo, kahit gaano kayong pinakamagaling na CIO, palagay ko, hindi nyo ma-implement yung enterprise architecture kanina ni Francis at yung COBIT 5 implementation of that particular agency. And then let's look at some action points in the end for your agencies. Sige. Ito ginawa nyo na kanina, kaya I just want people to stand up in the microphone and tell me about your biggest headaches in IT. Nadinig ko kanina, kulang ng tao. Ano pa yung mga sinabi nyo kanina? Hindi nag-uusap yung mga silo at system. Ano pa? Complexities. Anything else you'd like to add to all those? O gusto nyo mag-usap uli? Yan talaga epekto pagkatapos magmerienda. The blood goes to your stomach and your stomach functions more than your brain. Kanina, walang natutulog nung panahon ni Francis eh, sabi niya. O sige, anyone, volunteer. Biggest problem. Headache. Walang headache? Budget. Okay, budget. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Because when your bosses, sino ba nagpaplano ng budget? Kayo ba? Di ba yung Secretary of Health at saka yung Finance Officer, sila yung ngayon, pinaplano na yung 2019 budget. Dahil isasubmit na yun sa DBM. Nasubmit nyo ba yung sa inyo? Inapprove ba nila? Malamang hindi. Malamang kinat, di ba? With the help of this program, with ICT, sabihin nyo, boss, kailangan yan. Ito yung administrative order ng executive order ng e-government. So you have to fund this. Kasi hindi kayo magpa-fund. Siya ang maglalagay noon sa budget nyo ng agency. Tama? O ano pa?
Yes. Senior management support.
Yun! Walang senior management support. Ang expectation nila, ikaw ang IT, ikaw may alam yan eh. Gawin nyo yan. Pag hindi nyo nagawa, palitan kita, i-fire kita, kuha ko na mas magaling. Kunin ko si Francis. Di ba? Ganon. So, dapat nag-uusap kayo. Kasi may mga obstacles along the way. There will be problems that you'll encounter. What else? Anything else? Kanina, maingay yung mga pulis eh. Tumahimik na eh. Wala na, umuwi na yata. Sige. So, nakikita nyo, pag in-enumerate nyo yung mga pinag-usapan nyo kanina, pa-complex ang running an organization. Di ba? Kailangan may CIO. Wala naman sa plantilla yung CIO eh. Ayun pa isang problema. Paano dadagdagan ng tao nyo kung walang IT officer sa plantilla ng DBM dun sa agency nyo? So, sinong gagawa nun? Hindi naman kayo gagawa nun. Yung head of agency po ang magre-request nun sa DBM. Ang kaso, sabi nila, bawal na contractual. Malaking problema yon, di ba? Pag hindi nyo pa na-develop yung plantilla nyo for IT officers, and later on, sinabi ni President Duterte, the government will stop hiring contractuals. O, paano na yung IT units natin? Di ba? Ayaw naman ng mga IT officer, yung matatalinong bata, nakaka-graduate lang ng IT computer science, ayaw nilang natatali sa gobyerno. Kasi next year, meron silang trabaho sa Google, sa Grab, sa Uber, sa abroad. Di ba? Ginagawa lang nilang temporary para may panggasto sila. Di ba? Tapos, and the training they get, and then they will leave. Di ba? So that's one of our biggest problems. So, getting more complex ang business. Demand from clients. Yung mga millennials natin, nabuhay in front of an LED screen. So ang gusto nga nila, basta isang pindot lang, dapat nagsiserve na. Grabe. Yung patients namin sa PGH, may Duterte Fund, may PhilHealth, sila yung galit pag hindi sila ginamot ng mga intern at doktor. Kaya ang ginagawa ng doktor, nagre-resign. So kulang kami ngayon ng doktor sa Philippine General Hospital kasi the patients are now more demanding because they know their rights. Di ba? Before they go to me in my private practice, nakonsulta niya yung private doctor niya, si Dr. Google. Alam niya na lahat ng gamot at simple, sasabihin sa'yo, Doktor, ba't iba doon sa nakita ko sa Google? Di ba? Ganun na. So the patients and the clients are even more demanding because they already have access to information na dati walang access sila. Ito, may nagsabi nito, budget. Di ba? The budget has always been static and hindi naman lagi. Kumita naman po napasa. Pero that's also part of the problem. What I noticed is when I ask for budgets from the IT departments, they just prepare, hindi na nila iniisip. Yan yung sinasabit namin every year. Yan yung sinasabit namin 10 years ago. Hindi naman nung nabibigay eh. So binibigay lang sinasubmit. So hindi rin napag-isipan. So very important to sit down with your bosses and say, ano ho ba gusto niyong gawin in the next 6 years of your administration or 5 years of administration. So ikaw, as the IT officer, will understand, kailangan kong bumili ng ganitong hardware. Kailangan kong bumili.
It's different now. It's not making hula on the ICT budget kasi we have ISSP and it's supposed to be endorsed by DICT to DBM.
Correct.
And that will be the basis of DBM to release our funds for ICT.
Correct.
So, kung walang approved ISSP po yan, ang government agency, wala po tayong budget. But what is really very challenging now is the span of budget given to us. We're only given 1 year. But looking into the bidding process, sometimes it takes time. It's not only 1 year kasi may fail bid. So, yun po yung mga challenging when it comes to the budget.
So,
I believe
so
the ISSP already solved the problem of having yung budget na hindi pinag-isipan sa ICT
Correct.
kasi medyo mahigpit po yung DICT.
correct.
Hindi nila
And I can
i-endorse.
feel her pain point. Her pain point is procurement. So she knows what hardware to buy, what software to buy. The problem is, hindi umaabot sa procurement time, di ba? Hindi siya umaabot sa procurement. Pag laging may delay, may problema yan. May nanghihingi. Okay, so that's another thing you need to understand. The IT people need to communicate with the procurement people of the agency. Na ito kailangan ma-deliver dito this time. Otherwise, pag dineliver mo to 2 years later, which is the usual thing that happens, gagawa namin ng paraan, itatago yung pera, tuloy-tuloy yung budget. By the time we get the computers, outmoded na siya. Kasi alam niyo naman sa IT, 6 months lang life cycle. Pag nakuha mo siya 2 years later, yung specs mo 2 years ago, pangit na siya. I-criticize na kayo. Sino ba IT officer nito? Bakit ganito ni-request na item? Diba? It's not the latest. So ito yung mga problems and pain points. Ito, may nagkakaproblema dito ngayon? Hindi kayo nagkakaproblema kasi ang ikukulong yung head of agency. Siya ipa-fine. Well, the law says that if he did his own breach of protocol, pwedeng kayo ang makulong. Pag sinabi niya, IT officer, investigate this, and you did not investigate, hindi siya makukulong. Kayo makukulong. Alam niyo ba yun? So yun lang ang stand. Pag hindi mo sinabi sa akin na may breach, even if I'm the head of agency, and you did not tell me there was a data breach, and I did not implement the breach protocol, ikaw ang makukulong, hindi ako. Tama ba ako? Tama. So bumigat yung trabaho nyo. Increasing demand for assurance. Assurance that the IT system works. Kundi, 888 tayo. Office of the President at Civil Service Commission. Ang dami ko natatanggap ngayon na ganyan. So, I'll talk about a little bit about the case study and how we did it. It's work in progress. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya. You can download the whole document if you want to read it habang nasa kubeta kayo. Pwede yung basahin. You can download the PDF file of the whole document. Pero may mas maiksing PowerPoint. I'll give you the QR code then for that. So, si Elo yung aking IT guy when we were implementing this and we were talking about this. So, ano ba ang situation noon ng Department of Health at the whole health system? Hindi lang government, pati private sector. Yung health facilities, information intensive siya. May patient chart siya, pen and paper, may sensitive personal information siya. Diba? And we collect those in all points of service. However, yung records na yon hindi sumasama sa pasyente. Ilipat siya from the rural health unit to the district hospital, to the provincial hospital, to the regional hospital. Hindi niya kasama record niya. So inuulit yung x-ray niya, yung history niya, lahat inuulit. So yun yung aming pain point or trick. Paano naman mag-i-implement ng health service na yung data hindi kasama doon sa pasyente? Di ba? Padadala lang yung pasyente, nakasakay sa jeepney, nakasakay sa tricycle, dadating doon sa Jose Reyes. Anong nangyari sa inyo, Mrs.? Hindi ko alam, pinapunta lang kami dito ng health center. So, uulitin mo na naman yung proseso. So, yun yung sabi namin pinakamalaking problema at sayang yung oras ng mga doktor at nurse trying to retrieve all data. Wala kaming sharing, even in our own connected hospitals. Walang sharing of data. Diba? Pinadala ko sa heart center, galing ng NKTI. Wala kang access dun sa record niya sa NKTI. Bakit nilipat, di ba? Buti na lang magkakilala yung doktor, magtatawagan sila. Pero yung record, walang access. So, the National Health Information System was fragmented. May local government, may national government, may private sector, at saka merong DOH. So, ang hirap. So, that was the situation of the health. And you can imagine, hirap na hirap yung mga pasyente. Kasi when they are sent from one island to another, talagang problema. Luckily, at that time I was undersecretary, the World Health Organization and the UN's IT Union, ito yung experts of the member states, experts in IT, came up with a document. And the document was entitled National E-Health Strategy Toolkit. So siguro mga TOGAP expert din yun. Sabi nila sa mga countries like low to middle income countries, abay mag-enterprise architecture kayo bago kayo mag-implement ng any e-health. Kundi sayang ang pera nyo. Kasi nga, we're not rich, di ba? If we implement something, we need to implement it. So it had all these 7 components. Ito po yung 7 components niya. Leadership and governance is the top and the first thing you need to do. You need to convince leadership, and you must have a form of governance to actually implement your strategy. All the other, strategy and investment, ito yung enterprise architecture nyo. Pag sinabi na ng leader nyo, sige, mag-enterprise architecture tayo sa agency. Ay ano gagamitin natin? Sino ba ang TOGAP certified dito? Or pwede ba tayo mag-hire ng expert? Ayun, si Francis or DICT, tutulungan tayo with their experts to come up with an enterprise architecture based on what you want to do. Ano ba yung services ng gobyerno, ng agency nyo? Ano ba yung applications na meron kayo? Tapos ito yung pinakamahirap, yung standardization and interoperability. Sa amin, problema yan. Kasi karamihan ng mga health center ang tawag sa kanila, Jose Rizal Hospital. Alam niyo ba kung ilan ang Jose Rizal? Dr. Jose Rizal Hospital sa Pilipinas? So pagdating sa nomenclature at sharing of data, aling Dr. Jose Rizal Hospital yan? Yan ba yung nandoon sa Rizal Avenue? Yan ba yung nandoon sa Dapitan? Yan ba yung nasa Laguna? Kasi ang daming ganun. So, and we found out and we realized, sa nomenclature pa lang, lagpak na tayo. So we had to go into that. We had to change. Sabi kanina ni Francis, kailangan nagkakaintindihan tayo. Parang tayo, pag sinabi lang, Teodoro Javier Herbosa, walang ibang Teodoro Javier Herbosa. Pag hinanap mo siya sa computer, wala akong kapangalan. I think. Unless may nagpeke o may nag-identity theft sa akin. So parang ganun din dapat. If you're going to use terminology, yung pala yung una mong gagawin, yung terminology book in your agency. Definition of terms, pare-pareho pinag-uusapan nyo. Pag sinabi ng POEH, OFW, alam nila kung sino yung what is an overseas Filipino worker. So yun yung mahirap, no? Standard and interoperability. Infrastructure, ito yung bibili kayo ng hardware, ito yung procurement. And of course, ito yung batas. So ito yung kailangan papa-issuehin mo si boss. Boss, kailangan isulat niyo yan as a department order that we will implement in the PNP. So si Bato ba yun? Si Bato. Si General Bato kailangan mag-i-issue. We will implement a PNP strategic framework and plan for digital, for enterprise architecture of the whole PNP. So licensing of guns, personnel leave, etc. So kailangan may order. Kasi anong basis ng gagawin nyo? Kailangan meron siyang issue 1. Or kung gusto nyo, the ICT has parang e-government, di ba? Pwedeng gamiting basis yung e-government executive order ba siya o department order? Yung pinapapasa nila. So we do hope that our agencies will support all of that para mas bumilis tayo. And of course, pag napasa mo yon, ang next step is dadami ang taong kailangan. Di ba lahat kayo nagtaasan kanina? Nagtanong si Francis, ilan dito ang kulang ang tao? Kasi what has happened with IT? Even in the hospital, the IT program was a hobby of the doctor. Mahilig ako sa IT, sali ako dyan, volunteer ako sa IT committee. In the end, padami yung trabaho. Teka muna, ayoko na. May pasyente rin ako eh. I'm doing my work as a surgeon. Wala na akong time para dyan sa IT. Mag-hire na kayo. Biglang kakalag siya, mag-hire na lang ng iba. Umpisa na naman sa umpisa. Yun ang problema. Tapos yung na-hire naman namin, yung mga agencies na naka-hire ng magagaling, boss, resign na po ako. May trabaho ako sa Google eh. Sa San Francisco, sa Sacramento. So na-hire naman sila abroad for higher pay. So yun naman ang problema natin in government. So ang dami, no? So hindi nyo kayang solving to after this course, lahat. Pero at least pwede kayong makipag-usap at makipag-appointment sa inyong secretary or boss. I mean the secretary of the agency or the chief executive officer of your agency. Pwede kayong mag-appointment. Boss, kailangan natin gawin to. Bakit? Utos po ng pamahalaan nito. Pakita niyo itong ginawa niyo dito, whatever, and the things you learned. And then you choose based on where you are in your journey. Kayo ang magsasabi sa boss niyo kung ano ang gagawin ninyo. Ito yung DOST pa nakalagay doon kasi ICTO pa yan eh. So this was the summary naman ito. Parang PowerPoint ito. Philippine e-health strategic framework and plan. So, kung ayaw magbasa ng PDF na makapal na 48 pages yata, ito yung PowerPoint, mas madaling maintindihan. So, okay. Sabi ko kanina, the first step is leadership. Huwag niyo pong kakalimutan si boss. Pag hindi niyo sinama si boss, wala kayo. Wala kayong budget next year. Wala kayong budget the year after. Tapos somewhere along the way, tigil yung project niyo. So, ang ginawa namin nun, we created a steering committee. Yung dalawang secretary ng DOST at ng health, ang boss namin dyan. Tapos underneath, yung ICTO boss, ako for hospitals, and the PhilHealth boss, president of PhilHealth. So yun ang steering committee. Technically, kaming tatlo yung nagtatrabaho. Siyempre, yung dalawa, secretary, sige, gawin nyo na yan. But our group, under us, was a strategic team. Ito yung kayo. Ito yung IT people. Ito yung sila Eloy. They described to me what had to be done. Sila ang nagsabi sa akin what had to be done. And in the monthly meetings namin to look at the progress of implementation, sinasabi nila yung obstacles nila, yung problema nila, at yung assessment nila sa situation. So yun yung ini-expect kong gawin ninyo sa bawat agency nyo. And then you also have to get the experts as advisory group. Hindi lang naman lahat ng expert nasa agency nyo. So we got people from Ateneo na tumulong sa amin nun, di ba? Ateneo, School of Computer Science, UP, tumulong din. And then you need to get the broader stakeholders, industry, consult. Baka meron ng available nung gusto namin gawin na binibenta ng kumpanya. We got the patients, the suppliers, the hospital, all the stakeholders need to be involved. So mahaba yung proseso. Actually, ang estimate namin in 2 or 3 years, ma-implement namin. Sa awa ng Diyos, ngayon, struggling pa rin. Pero, ang maganda doon, meron ka ng structure. Alam mo na kung anong klaseng bahay itatayo mo. Alam mo na kung ilang bedroom, ilang kusina, ilang sala. Di ba parang yung ginawa ng Korea? They started in 2003, natapos sila in 2018. Pero yun, nag-umpisa sila sa idea kung ano yung gusto nila itayo. Di ba? So, importante na gawin niyo yun in your own agency. Ano ba ang gusto niyong itayo? Ilang bedroom na bahay? Anong bubong? Di ba? Gaano kataas ang bakod? Etc. Security, etc. So, ito yung sa amin, ano? What I'd like to blow up is this part. So, ito, naintindihan nyo na. Importante na may boss. Yung boss, ganito yan eh. Ang trabaho ng boss, parang yung mga nagbibisikleta kayo, tapos may pupuntahan kayo. Di ba yung nauuna, sinusundan lang yun ng mga iba? Pedal lang sila ng pedal para hindi sila maiwan. Sunod kayo sa akin, punta tayong Bataan. So, bisikleta kayo. Lahat ng kasunod mo, dapat magkakaden sa'yo. Kasabay, wala dapat maiwan. Di ba? So, if he's running at 40 kilometers per hour, lahat kayo, pedal kayong 40 kilometers. But he shows you the direction. Di ba? Importante kung saan ka pupunta. Ano ang gusto mong puntahan. Pero the bulk of the work and bulk of our problems were actually here with the IT group. So, sinabi ko na yung standards and nomenclature. You'll realize, even in your own agency, you will realize there will be different nomenclatures for the same things. Yung ibang form, gender. Yung ibang form, sex. Diba? Yung mga ganong data element. And you will realize that in nomenclature, iba-iba ang tawag nila. So, kailangan i-standardize nyo muna yon before everything can interoperate. Then we had to create a data privacy and data security. And this actually had a second panganak na group, the risk management group. Kasi we realized when data security experts taught us that the health sector is very sensitive and confidential information. So we had to manage risk. So nanganak pa to ng second group. Then we have the advisors group, ito yung mga experts. Then you have the capacity building, ito yung mga, and then the electronic medical records. Doon nag-uumpisa. Kasi yun yung records, yung dapat gumalaw with the patient. Remember, ang objective namin, yung record niya, gagalaw with the patient. Parang yung sinabi ni Francis this afternoon, sabi niya, ikaw pupunta sa, sa statistics, NSO, para kumuha ng birth certificate, para mag-apply ka ng passport na bago, di ba? Etc. So yun yung mga pag wala ka dun sa NSO, pupunta ka sa LGU. Di ba? Yung para magkuha yung registration. Ang hope natin with an architect, with an enterprise architecture, is with a standard record system, tatakbo siya. So someone in PGH can look at someone's health record and see, itong pasyenteng to, complicated congenital heart disease na nakita sa Cagayan. At ngayon pumupunta sa akin. So that's the importance of this. And then we of course create a project management office. And then nandito rin siyempre yung ibang stakeholder. Sino ba ang stakeholder? Yung may pera. Ang may pera, Department of Health from the Syntax at yung PhilHealth na nag-reimburse from the membership. So stakeholder sila kasi sa kanila, ang idea namin ay hindi kami kukuha ng additional money for IT implementation, but we will use what is needed. Kaya ang nauna yung e-health, e-claims, di ba? E-claims idea is that if you get e-claims, tataas ang revenue ng ospital. Pag tumaas ang revenue, you can use some of it to improve your other IT processes. So, merong working group, siyempre siya yung nagtatrabaho. Ang balita ko, siyempre wala na ako doon, wala na ring leadership ulit. Pero tinutuloy pa rin ng IT people yung architecture. So I'm glad may DICT ngayon. I hope ma-jump start or ma-continue, mapilitan silang i-continue. So, nakuha nyo na, nabenta nyo sa leader nyo, nabenta nyo kay secretary of the agency, nabenta nyo sa pinaka-boss, go siya. Ano ang next step? Governance. What does governance mean? Governance means you will direct and monitor. Governance is like coaching. You have a football team and you want to score a goal. It is the coach that looks at all the players on how they will play and scatter the ball and feed the ball para maka-goal kayo sa defender. So that's exactly what governance means. Coaching. So you select the framework and you choose the pain point. Kami noon sa Department of Health, the pain point was universal healthcare implementation and lowering of maternal mortality and improvement of health services in health facilities. So yung tatlong pain points na yun ang ginamit namin. So you get the top leader's approval and then you implement the framework. Pag may framework ka kasi, may mapa ka. Pag may mapa ka, hindi ka mawawala. May GIS map ka, tama? Di ba parang Waze, may Waze ka. Where you're supposed to go. It will show you alternative routes. If you pass to the right, 15 minutes longer. To pass to the left, 5 minutes shorter. Siyempre, pipili ka dun sa mas mabilis. So, yung IT governance framework, good IT is impossible without engaging an effective governance framework. So, kailangan i-manage pa rin kayo. Maraming IT kasi nasanay, pinababayaan na lang sila. They usually have an office. Walang bumibisita na boss doon. Di ba? You're able to do what you're at, and we just ask you a report at the end of the year. Tama po ba? Ganun ang nangyayari. Kung minsan di nga kayo kilala eh. Yung boss sino ba yan? Sino ka ba? Sir, sa IT unit ho ako, di ba? So, importante na nag-uusap kayo every month. Nagre-report kayo sa progress ng what the IT is doing. Did someone raising his hand? So, it defines, the framework will define whose decision, which decisions will be followed. Siyempre, decisions ng overall governing board or pinaka-head of agency. Di ba yung secretary naman, merong executive committee yon. Sila nag-approve ng lahat ng gagawin. Kumisan, ini-invite kayo doon to present your problem or your pain point. Very important to be active in that para naintindihan nyo. At lahat kayong agency, may direction na gustong puntahan yung boss nyo. Tama, di ba? Meron tayo ngayong PDP, Philippine Development Plan 2016 to 2022. Eh dapat i-align ng lahat ng agency ang kanilang, and then meron chapter 5 doon, which is the ICT, the e-government. And you need to align with that. So, sinong gagawa doon? Who is going to do that? Kayo, di ba? And then, who will make the decision? The boss. Who will implement that? How will that be made? And what exactly are the processes for ensuring that the decisions of the top level management are carried? That's governance. Governance means alam nyo yung decision, alam nyo kung sino yung gumawa nun, kung paano siya implement, at anong proseso ang papatakbuhin ninyo. So it ensures that results are monitored and corrective actions are taken when results are not realized. So wag nyo sasabihin sa boss nyo, boss, palpak ko kasi yung bidding di pa natapos eh. Magmumura lang talaga yung boss nun. Kasi dapat sinabi mo yon nung nadi-delay na yung bidding. Sabi, bakit ba hindi nagagawa? Kasi po hindi pa nabibili yung network or yung infrastructure na kailangan for storage. Eh, talagang walang mangyayari dun sa plano nyo kahit yun ang pinakamagandang plano. And you need to tell the boss. And sometimes the boss can kick the asses of the Bids and Awards Committee. Ano bang ginagawa niyo dyan? Nangihingi ba kayong kalokohan o lagay? Bakit ang tagal-tagal bilhin? Because that's the way to push it. Hindi kayo, tell it to the boss. So ito yung mga frameworks that are available for people in IT or people in governance. Ito yung ISO 38500, kasama yan sa COBIT 5. Yung ITIL, ISO 2702. It doesn't matter to me what you choose. To me, kung nagamit nyo na to, pwede pa rin naman yan. Ang importante, interoperability with the other government agencies. Eh, ganun din yung sitwasyon namin sa health noon. Sabi namin, ang pinaka-important layer is the interoperability layer. Converting existing EMRs of hospitals so that they can feed data to the Philippine Health Information Exchange. Ito yung mga laman ng ISO 38500. Principles, the model for corporate governance. By the way, COBIT 5 used to stand for Corporate Control Objectives for Business in IT. Pero hindi na nila ginagamit ngayon. At COBIT 5, tawag na lang nila IT governance. So the short now is it's just called IT governance. What is COBIT 5? It's IT governance. So ito yung mga kailangan. Who's responsible? Ano yung strategy or architecture nyo? What do you need to acquire? Performance, conformance, human behavior. So ito yung kanilang e-health architecture gets more complex. But this is actually the model they were sharing, parang TOGAF ang dating nito. So you'll have the health processes. Ito yung objective mo. Improve healthcare efficiency product. And then, yun yung patient path. Yung dadaanan niya. From the community-based services all the way to health hospitals, etc., diagnostic, everything. And then ang foundation mo, ito yung yellow, di ba? Ito yung mga processes involved. Health information, identification registry, disease registries, data interchange, interoperability. And then ito yung infrastructure. Ito yung kailangan mong bilhin. Warehouse, the standards, the methods, the guidelines na kailangan gamitin ng different hospitals na pare-pareho. And of course, ito yung the executive sponsorship and all the other components. It's not that complex. It's really, you can use it also for the core business that your agency is doing. Kami health, so ang core business namin is providing health services. So we use the strategic framework and plan to implement good health services. So what is COBIT 5? COBIT 5 is a business framework for governance and management of enterprise information technology or enterprise IT. So you heard about, so kung meron ka ng enterprise architecture, kailangan mo ng someone that will implement it, right? That's where COBIT 5 comes in, the implementation of your enterprise architecture. So ito yung spectrum dyan. You have the more generic, which is the 38500, which just mentions architecture. Yung COBIT 5 emphasizes architecture. So I'm really very happy I followed the lecture of Francis. Because that's basically, he did 50% of what I needed to do. Sell enterprise architecture first, and then be able to control the business IT. And then ito yung mas esoteric, it defines the health architecture similar to what I just showed you earlier. So ito yun, you have this framework. This is the COBIT 5 processes or management of IT. I think you have that. But all those words that you see there, sa bosses like me, Undersecretary of Health or Secretary, they are just supposed to evaluate, direct, and monitor IT implementation. And that's covered similar to the ISO 3500. Sa middle management, yung mga boss ng bawat agency, so ito si Bato, ito yung chief ng FEU, firearms and explosives, etc. He has to align, plan, and organize together with the enterprise. Ano ba ang objective si Bato? Mahuli yung mga drug lords. O, di ba, kailangan you should align, plan, and organize that your system can actually capture those. So, ayan yung mga, TOGAF is there. It covers both the APO, and the build, acquire, implement. So build, acquire, implement is what you guys mostly do. Diba? You build, you acquire, and you implement the processes. Then the frontline people, they deliver, they provide services, and they support the agency. Making sure, so kung sa PNP, ito yung mga receive ng applications for licenses of guns, etc. And all throughout, dapat, monitor mo siya, in-evaluate, at ina-assess. So if you look at this, it is very complex, pero actually, those are the important things. So what's important for governance? Your bosses must be able to evaluate what you're doing, direct what you're doing, and monitor what you're doing. Hindi niya pwedeng sabihin, bahala na kayo. Kasi walang mangyayari sa inyo pag sinabi ng mga boss nyo, bahala na kayo dyan, IT yan, specialty nyo yan. Hindi boss, kailangan nagbibigay kayo ng directive, nagbibigay kayo ng issuances regarding it. So, ito yun, I'll just go to the top, which is the highest level. What should the boss do? He should ensure governance framework, setting, and maintenance. So, making sure there's an enterprise architecture. So, iuutos niya sa inyo yun. Gawa kayo ng enterprise architecture for our agency. Tapos, i-approve namin sa Executive Council, i-present nyo. After na-approve, sige, implement nyo. Pag in-implement nyo, you have to make sure the promised benefits will be delivered and risk optimization ang tawag nila. Risk optimization. Kasi may mga risks, di ba, in IT. You can make your more efficient, but you'll have to fire some people. Yung mga clerk na paperwork, naging electronic na. So, ipa-fire mo yun or i-reinvent mo yung hanap buhay nila. So, bibigyan mo sila ng early retirement program. Hindi kayo gagawa nun. Si boss ang gagawa nun. Sasabihin niyo lang sa boss niya, boss, pag ginawa natin yan na IT implementation, web-based na, ay yung front office natin, isasara na natin. Kasi ang application natin ngayon ay web-based lang. Ang mangyayari doon parang sa UK. Ang mangyayari doon, yung mga clerk na nag-Facebook buong araw, eh ipa-fire nyo. Or ipa-fire nyo or gagawan nyo ng early retirement plan yung matatanda, re-reassign mo yung mga galing para hindi mawala kayo. So yun ang, hindi kayo gagawa nun. Si boss ang gagawa nun. That's the job of that particular level. Risk optimization. Then there's resource optimization. Ako yung boss. Nanghingi sa akin ng EMR ang heart center. Nanghingi sa akin ng EMR system ang RITM. Nanghingi sa akin ng, tapos iba-iba silang tatlo. Teka muna kayong tatlo, mag-usap nga tayo. Isang sistema na lang tayo para makamura. That's resource optimization. So yung duplication mababawasan. And lastly, stakeholder transparency. Making sure, kasi yung IT namin, kaibigan yung sa IT company na to eh. Siya yung pinadadala abroad, yan yung nagbabayad ng trips niya for the conferences. Kaya yung system namin, yung kumpanya na yun. So that's very important. The boss will have to be informed about that. And you have to be transparent like what I did. I declared all my conflicts of interest to you, the audience who's listening to me. Ganun din dapat kayong IT people. Boss, pagka off ako, nag-consultant ako dyan sa kumpanya na yan. I-declare nyo yun. Kasi in the end, baka mapahama kayo. Akalaing salesman kayo ng IT company na in-implement nyo dun sa agency nyo. So that's the difficult part there. So, rather niyan, may manual naman to. So, ganun din yun, yung align, plan, organize. Yung buong agency, merong core business siya. May vision, mission kayo, di ba? Each agency. So, your IT unit must align and plan according to those strategic objectives, according to the Philippine development objectives. So, lahat tayo, we align to one, and then, kung ano yung gagawin nyo, whether it's IT management framework, or managing your suppliers, managing quality, managing risk, sa managers yan. Ito yung technicians, the IT expert, build, acquire, implement. Sabi nyo, ano na lang tayo? Web application na lang. Wala na mag-a-apply sa telepono or physical visit. Okay, kayo mag-i-implement ng sistema na yun. Dito yon sa build, acquire, implement. And yung frontline service. Deliver service, support. Anong kubisan to? Ngayon, pag nagiging web-based na, call center na. Di ba? Pag hindi nag-work yung web-based, may pwede kang tawagan. Sa banking, ganun eh. Credit card, di ba? Ganun. Hindi ka na pupunta sa bangko pag may problema yung credit card mo. Tatawag ka na lang to an emergency number, and sasabihin mo na wala yung card mo, papakancel mo na. So, that's the BSS. So, nagbabago. And then you have to monitor, evaluate, and assess. Kasi along the way, may obstacles, may changes. So, namili kami ng pain point. We chose a pain point. And ang nakita namin is how to get the health information of the patient in that fragmented system to the Department of Health. Diba? Pag tinanong ko, ilang bata ang seronegative sa dengue? Walang data. Diba? Walang data. Walang data. Not because it's not computerized, because we never tested the children. So, yun yung ganyan yung mga importante sa executive. Para ma-decide ko kung implement ko tong bagong vaccine na to o hindi. I needed to know what was the zero prevalence of the people that I needed to inject. Yun yung importante doon. So that's how important IT is. It's information. When you collate the information, it becomes data. When you analyze the data, it becomes knowledge. When you use it, it becomes wisdom. Tama? So ito yung third is the strategy, or maybe you can call it the enterprise architecture. So ang idea namin was to increase universal health coverage, which is health outcomes, and decrease maternal death, and implement the modernization of health facilities. So ito yung tatlong pain point na ginamit namin. Kaya gusto namin magkaroon ng dashboard. Kasi ang nangyayari nun, when I came to the Department of Health, did you know that all our data, health data, is 3 years old? When you're talking about 2018, tatanong ko, ano ba ang data and statistics? Ang ibibigay sa akin data ay 2017, 2016. Kasi ipa-approve pa yon sa NEDA, tapos bago i-release as official government data before I can use it as the basis of my action. Teka muna, di ba parang that was 3 or 4 years ago, yung data, and I'm going to use it as the basis of what I'm doing. Parang mali, di ba? You want online. Di ba nakita niyo yung video kanina ni Francis? You want a system that is responsive. NOAA, Project NOAA, nationwide observation of an assessment of hazard. Yung LGU, yung boss, yung governor, yung mayor, alam niya kung dadaan at gaano kalakas yung bagyo sa lugar niya. Hindi enough to say, may typhoon signal number 3 na bagyo. Alam niya exactly kung saan dadaan at yung probability, yung cone, nalalaman niya. So this is an example of data that can be used for an action of the executive. So, sapul tayo, evacuate tayo. Diba? So, punta tayo dito sa fourth, manage the enterprise architecture. It's not enough to have an enterprise architecture. Kumbaga, may plano ka ng bahay. Alam mo ng bahay, pwede mo bang itayo yung bubong pag hindi mo pa natatayo yung mga pader at poste? Diba? So meron ding, babantayan mo yan. Kailangan matayo mo yung mga poste, yung pundasyon, bago mo itayo yung bubong. Hindi mo malalagay yung bintana kung wala pang pader. Hindi mo malalagay yung pinto kung wala pang pader. So meron ding proseso in terms of implementing it. So establish what infrastructure. Sabi mo, cloud na lang, boss. Wag na tayo magbili ng infrastructure, mas mura. I-assure mo na that cloud service is going to be operational 24/7 and available to you. And of course, using standard services, applications na i-create nyo, you will realize you will create more nomenclature, more standards, more services as you implement your enterprise architecture. Kaya sabi ni Francis, may transition architecture. Hindi naman basta may enterprise architecture ka na, tapos na agad yung bahay. May dadaanan kayong proseso before you can see the whole house finished with all the interior decorations and everything. So ito yung framework, pinakita kanina, di ba? This is the same model. Meron kang business architecture, data architecture, applications architecture, and your technology architecture. Ito yung ginawa namin. What did we want? Di ba sabi ko, ang pain point, hindi sumasama yung datos ng pasyente sa pasyente. So we wanted to create what is called Philippine Health Information Exchange. Why? For funding, for coverage, for what diseases to concentrate on in, whether to buy the dengue vaccine or not. These are data you need to make those decisions. Tama? So that's what to create. With your, now all this data, nanggagaling dito. merong clinical systems, mga pasyente ng doktor. May laboratory, yung pinatest na pasyente. May mga results sila. May hospital records, yung mga na-confine. May community health worker, yung barangay health worker, may records yan ng mga pasyente. Kung sino nabakunahan, sino buntis. Meron nga kaming sistema dyan ng cellphone lang. May pharmacy system, kung anong gamot ang ginagamit at binibili. All of this feed information to what is called the Health Information Exchange. And then you'll have warehouses of all of this. So you need a terminology service para yung report nitong iba-ibang ospital, iba-ibang laboratory, pwede mong pagsamahin. Otherwise, hindi mo siya pwedeng pagsamahin if they're not in the same terminology. So you need a terminology service, and then you have to create a health registry. Let's say health worker ka, ilan ba ang may PhilHealth dyan sa barangay mo? Sino ba yung mga may PhilHealth? Para pag pinadala ko siya sa ospital, covered siya ng PhilHealth. So kailangan mo siya ng client registry. Tapos ganun din, itong hospital kulang ng doktor. Ilan ba ang doktor at specialista dyan? Health worker registry, nurses, doctors, may registry ka rin. And then there are data that you will share. And we looked at data privacy as well. Kasi ang health data, nauna naman kami sa data privacy kasi we consider health data because of confidentiality. Anything exchanged between a doctor and a patient is confidential information. Anonymize the data. So I don't have to report Ferdinand went to me. I will report may luslos yung isang pasyenteng nakaupo sa harap. Yun na kailangan ko i-report. Ngayon, ang problema pwede talaga kung may marunong, pwede talagang i-retrograde at mahanap niya. Yung matitinik yun sa IT. Pero you try to anonymize as much as possible and you shield that data so that by the time we implemented the e-health, hindi pa tapos yung IRR. Napasa pa lang yung batas. The Data Privacy Act was passed in 2012. We already implemented this in 2013. 2012, idea na. 2013, may mga working groups na ako. So yung IRR 2015 na yata lumabas eh. Early 2016 na lumabas yung na-create muna yung National Privacy Commission. Kaya kami, sa batas lang kami nakabase, trying to align with the batas. Then when the IRR came up, we now have to align with the IRR. So ngayon, you have to align with all the issuances of the National Privacy Commission. Well, lahat ng doktor daw kailangan pala mag-submit by March 8. Kaya nagwawala yung mga doktor. Minove na. Hindi, yung doctors na may clinic, private clinic pala, sinama doon sa March 8. So nag-alsa yung mga doktor kasi sinabihan lang sila nitong February. So, kasi as long as you handle sensitive personal information of 1,000 or more, you need to submit and register. You need to register with the National Privacy Commission. So anyway, you have an idea. So what happens is, now, ako yung boss, I have the Philippine Health Information Exchange. The interoperability layer anonymizes the data coming in from this. Alam ko lang ilang health worker pero hindi ko alam kung sino siya. Di ba? So ganun din dito sa health record. Alam ko ilan ang may dengue pero hindi ko alam kung sino-sino yung mga may dengue. So in-anonymize. And then, based on that, alam ko anong gagastusin ko. Gagastos ba ako ng 3.5 billion? Kung ang alam ko 200,000 lang ang nagkakadengue doon sa mga ospital. So yun yung use ng mga information systems na yan. So it will be used for budgeting, for management. It's the executive that decides how to use it. So that, should I build more heart centers? Kasi ang number one cause of death ko coronary heart disease. Tapos ang nakapila sa heart center, pag magpapa-opera po kayo, 3 buwan. Tama ba? 3 buwan pag magpapa-cabbage ka. So ang kailangan natin, mga 10 heart center, hindi isa. Yung project din namin yan. Correct. It's what your data generates is used for policy. We call that evidence-based policy making. So I need you, the IT people, to give me the information. Then I can make the correct policy decision. Yes.
You mentioned earlier that, di ba, halimbawa yung sinabi mong case ni Sir. So, kung nagpatingin siya sa Dr. A and then lumipit siya sa Dr. C, there's a possibility na makuha na yung data kung ano yung original niya.
And then, nagkaroon kami ng parang patient identifier. Kasi magkaka-number ka sa PhilHealth.
Okay. So, yun, again,
Pag nagpa-opera na siya, yun yung mga pinag-usapang proseso.
Kasi,
On how patient identification number, ano yung number na yon? Ano yung number yun? Number ba nila sa PhilHealth? Number ba nila sa ospital? Or is it going to be an assigned number for the individual?
kasi that will be very helpful sa pag-maintain ng, kasi alam naman ng Pinoy, hindi naman sila mahilig mag-maintain ng data. Personal data most especially, lalo na sa health. They think na pag pumunta sa doktor, pag sinabi nila kay doktor na ABC, it will have more or less the same. But, syempre, malaking bagay, malaking tulong yung the data being available anytime. So, kahit kaninang doktor sila pumunta, mas matutulungan sila.
Correct.
So, yung sistema yun, sir, how did you do that without
We didn't do it.
not yet.
The vendors did it. The vendors started to sell personalized health information records. You can build your on Microsoft. You can build a patient health record, and you can scan and all your data, and you'll have a personal record, and then you can share it to your doctor. So he comes to me, may diabetes siya, may hypertension siya. Ipa-plug niya lahat ng lab niya doon. Ikaw parang Facebook mo, i-create mo yung Facebook mo, personal data mo yun. Ikaw ang may access doon. Ngayon, gusto mo siyang i-share, pumunta ka sa Makati Med, di mo type yung doktor, lumipat ka sa St. Luke, pwede mo sabihin, boss, ito po yung aking password, tsaka ano. Or you can share it with this doctor, and then you can share your data. So that's on the personal end. So we're asking, kasi ang nangyayari ngayon, dala-dala nila yung folder eh. Di ba?
Yes.
May folder yung nanay. Ito lahat ng record ng congenital heart disease. Wala nung bata. Nasunog yung bahay. Meron doon kami record, pero nasunog ho yung bahay namin. Nasunog lahat. Since birth, may record yan. So yun yung isang use na the vendors are looking into e-health. So yung solutions na yan,
Akala ko
pwedeng
ginawa rin.
private gumawa niyan. Pwedeng
Private.
stakeholder ang gumawa niyan. Pwedeng hindi gobyerno gumawa niyan. Di ba? Para ngayon, pag nagrehistro ka ng passport mo, di ba, hindi naman talaga DFA ang gumagawa ng passport mo. Nagko-collect ng mga papeles mo, outsource. Di ba? May computer lang sila, may standard silang pina-follow. Yeah, so yun ang mga,
Yung sistema niyo.
yun ang mga ganung pag-iisipan yung lateral thinking. So ito yung buong framework, no? So we started with what is called the toolkit. And from the toolkit, pinag-COBIT 5 ako, may exam, nakapasa ako. We started to create an architecture, and then we decided to continue. So very important is the support of the leadership and a governance framework. Hindi enough na oo siya. Dapat tutulungan kanya bantayan yung implementation ng project. Pag sinabi niya, computerize natin ang application sa baril, wala nga, sumusunod siya. Ano nangyayari at ano mga problema. So, it's guided by the enterprise architecture, it's guided by standards, and it's guided by services and applications. Then you build an information exchange. So may website ka na. Parang yung idea nitong information exchange is the uk.gov. Yeah, gov.uk. That's the information exchange of the UK government. So i-type mo dun sa search code nila, UK visa. Boom, ililipat ka dun sa visa application. Business, tourism, or click. Lilipat ka and then you can apply. You can say, where will you apply for visa? Manila, nandun na. Tapos bayad, credit card. Yun yung application na yun. So ano ang key messages natin dito? Importante ang leadership. Leadership and governance are the two most important. After this meeting, isa lang ang gusto kong gawin ninyo. Pumunta kayo sa boss nyo, mag-report kayo. Siguro a small note. Tapos pwede ba boss pag-usapan itong IT ng ating agency. Or you can come to him with already a solution or a proposal na matagal na siguro nakatenga sa mga lamesa nyo. Gusto nyo implement pero wala pa. Or you can start meetings and ask funding for meetings to do that. So you ask the leadership to adopt it, promulgate an AO or a department order, and then do a strategy designed to do that. So yung leadership for a framework of governance, your enterprise architecture, and then creating an information exchange. Yun yung ating business data. So, any question on leadership? So I'll go next to, may oras pa ba ako? Sige, meron pa akong 700 slides left. Okay. Information is the key. Hindi naman kayo uuwi, di ba? Dito kayo matutulog. Okay, good. Sige ba? Tinatanong ko lang, sinisiguro ko lang, kasi nasabi sa akin ng DICT, Boss, hanggang alas 7, pwede kayo. Sige, information is the key resource for all enterprises. Information is created, used, retained, disclosed, and destroyed. And technology plays a key role in this. Technology is becoming pervasive in all aspects of business and personal life. So, importante yung benefit or value that IT will bring to the agency. You must create that value. And if that has value, your boss will say yes. Pero kung walang value yun, eh, hindi. Di ba? So, it's very important to create value. So, create benefits. When you go to the boss, when you say, boss, kailangan tayo gumawa ng enterprise architecture, you must tell to him why you need to hire a consultant na may TOGAF to actually help you build your processes and architecture. Yun. Manage day-to-day operations, stay competitive, and then just to survive. Otherwise, isasara yung hanap buhay niya, isasara yung office niya. Baka i-take over na ng IT, DICT. And then the demand for IT professionals will continue. Sa UP nga, nag-create na kami ng bagong course, Master of Science in Data Science. Baka gusto niyo mag-apply. Kasi mukhang yun ang future. Kasi mawawala na yung mga encoder, programmer, software developers. The next innovations will be on data science and data analytics. So that's by our Department of Statistics. Yun yung imaging and mapping data. Meron kaming mga professor na nakatapos abroad and we're now offering it. Baka lang gusto nyo kasi nga baka kung di ba, hindi kasali yun sa free tuition. Ang free tuition lang po ay para sa undergraduate. Pag kayo ay nag-masters, kailangan humanap kayo ng sponsor or or bayaran nyo out of pocket. So, ganun. So yung postgraduate, masters and PhD, sarili nyo yun. Mag-a-apply kayo doon. Hindi na kailangan pumasa ng UPCAT. Mag-a-apply lang kayo doon sa master's program. Undergrad, kailangan pumasa ng UPCAT para free tuition. So what are the challenges we have now? So let's look at this. This is also downloadable from the ISACA website. This is the ISACA website. Madami dong mga nabibili. Pero meron ding free. Meron ding freely downloadable na information. Kung ano. So ito sinasabi, it is the responsibility of the board of directors. Each agency has a parang execom or the deciding body, executive management, which is the integral part of that enterprise. Consists of the leadership, the structures, the processes, and the organization's IT to sustain the organization's strategic objectives. Very important always to align with the vision and mission of your agency. So ang dapat ditong tanong ko, pag pumunta ako sa inyo, what is the mission and vision of your
to develop and promote Philippine arts and culture.
National Cultural Center of the Philippines? O, malinaw, di ba? So, kailangan ba i-digitize natin yung mga painting ng mga sikat na mga Pilipino?
We are already doing that, sir.
Nag-align na kami. So, the use of IT is having digital copies of all the masterpieces of our great artists, di ba? And then documented. And then, ang alam ko sa UK, all the museums are digitized. So I can visit the digital museum. Tama ba? The UK museums, they're all digital. I can go through all their collections online, parang online. So something like that. I don't even have to travel. So that will increase love for the arts by the Filipino, di ba? Baka may batang ma-inspire maging painter. So, importante yung decision rights, accountability framework. Ito yung mga words pinapasok ko na. So, decision rights, input rights, and the people or groups that are accountable. Pag nagkaroon kayo ng chicken sad, naalala niyo yung chicken sad? When Jollibee transferred their IT management from a homegrown IT to SAP, which is a commercial. Ano nangyari? Nawalan ng supply ng chicken. Ang pinaka-recent, yung sa UK, yung Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. Nag-apologize nga ang Kentucky Fried Chicken, FCK. Sabi na, shit happens talaga. Yung supplier nila couldn't supply the chicken, so many of the Kentucky Fried Chicken areas were closed. Tayo naman walang chicken joy nun, kaya chicken sad. Ang source nun, IT, immigration. Meron silang homegrown, pinalitan nila ng commercial, nagkagulo-gulo sa delivery, hindi na di-deliver on time. So good IT governance draws on corporate governance principles to manage and use IT to achieve corporate performance goals. So babalik ka lagi dun sa mission and vision. Cultural center, art, di ba? May video library na ba kayo ng lahat ng mga Philharmonic Orchestra? Digitize na nila. So yan. Yan ang gusto ko. At least may effort. 100 for effort. That's 50% of success. That means iniisip na nila na i-digitize yung performances ng Philippine Philharmonic and the Ballet Philippines. Di ba? So that the ordinary people can watch it on their website. But by the way, may TBUP kami. Pagka gusto nyo i-house. Walang bidding kailangan kasi government agency din kami. MOA lang yun. May platform na kami, ha? Kasi ibig sabihin nun, anong ibig sabihin nun? We built the platform for TVUP, which is an internet-based. Now, will I ask Cultural Center to build also a TV platform? Sabihin ko sa kanya, teka, mag-MOA na lang tayo. Pati yung mga estudyante ko ngayon sa UP, makikita yung mga performances ng Cultural Center of the Philippines. O pwede ako Exactly. So, baka kailangan i-remaster na yun or whatever. Di ba? We also have the student and the master student that can probably... ano naman ang gagawin ko? Maghapon ako dito. Kailangan may maiuwi ako sa UP. Yan ang executive, di ba? Yan ang executive. Iniisip na yung goals. Nahuhuli na yung aking mga So you need to have a formal structure. Di ba? Kailangan natin makita talaga doon sa organizational chart nyo, nasan ba yung IT? Kayo ba yung nagre-report sa security guard? O doon sa secretary ng inyong agency? Ahensya, yun, importante yun. Kasi kung minsan, yung boss, ang intindi sa'yo, lagay mo yan dyan sa knowledge management. Tapos may boss ka na, kung minsan nilalagay yung IT sa, kanina nadinig ko yung tanong na yun, iniba na namin yung public affairs at saka yung information. Kasi dati may public information officer. Ginawa namin public affairs yun. Kasi meron kaming ITDC, Information Technology Development Committee, which is the one reporting to the President for all the IT implementation. So ganun yung mga, will you require a reorganization in your own agency on how to manage? So put the structure, achieve the goals. So again, IT in the end is just a tool. It's like a typewriter. You want to create a document that's called the birth certificate, you need a typewriter. Ganun din yung IT. You want to spread culture and arts, you use the IT. The best way is to put it online so that everyone can watch it. So ganun yung mga kaso may mga problema sa IT. Yan yung mga pag-uusapan natin yan. Intellectual property. Kasi pag nilagay mo na online, yung mga ganon, kailangan. Pero meron pa rin yung mga errors, biglang susulatan ka. Di ba? So, importante yan. So, we need strategic alignment, value delivery, risk management, very important in the era of data privacy na lahat tayo kinukulit ng National Privacy Commission. Kasi if you read the Data Privacy Act, it's about IT information. Nakatutok sa atin, sa IT, if you really notice. Pero sinabit na lang yung paper data, but it's really intended for IT security. Resource management and allocation, performance measurement. BBB nyo. Kailangan. Ma-attain nyo yung MFO nyo. Prexy na, binago na. So, you need to have enterprise goals and strategies. Alam din ng mga IT people nyo, hindi lang kayo in charge of IT. You need a culture of business and IT partnership. Mabilis kasi yung development ng private sector. So, I actually joined the Globe, as I said in my beginning. And when there are ideas, baliktad siya sa atin sa government. Sa government, transparency. Sa private sector, pag nag-usap kami, pirma ka muna ng NDA. Alam nyo yung NDA, Non-Disclosure Agreement. Tapos pwede na tayo mag-meeting. Ang ibig sabihin ng Non-Disclosure Agreement, mag-meeting tayo, ilalagay ko sa TBUP yung mga Pag Pag sinabi niya yun sa press or sa media, didemanda ko siya. Kasi baka may ibang makaisip nun, gayahin. Di ba? So yun yung ikaibahan. Pero ang bilis nila. Once they do this, meron na kaagad, tayo isip ng telehealth method, biglang Globe comes up with a Consulta MD. So ganun yun. Ganun yung difference sa business sector. Pero kailangan ba hiwalay the public and the private sector? Hindi, sa IT dapat tayo. They're stakeholders in this particular. In fact, kausap ko dun yung Kalinga State University at saka Cagayan ba? Isabela, sa coffee break. Kumisan yun ang problema walang connection. Walang IT connection in those areas because those are the areas Globe doesn't want to put in towers. Pero actually, in the license that the ICT gave them through the National Telecom, they are supposed to do those mercy missions. Di ba? Kaya importante, alam din natin yung rights natin, alam natin yung rights na dapat ipaglaban so that the students in Kalinga State University and Isabela State University can have access to internet. The students there will have the same access as my students in UP. Culture of business, collaborative approach, very important. And value delivery. Itong pinaka-importante. When you go to your bosses, you create added value. Value for money. Pabibilin mo siya ng pinakamahal na software or pinakamahal na hardware. You must tell him, you will save him 1 billion pesos a year. Kagaya nung sa Korea, you must tell him that. You must make the predictions and the projections for that particular value for money computations ang tawag doon. May gagawin kayong IT project, i-create mo siya ng value for money. Mas mura ba i-run yung IT services o i-outsource na lang sa cloud? So yun yung mga comparisons na gustong madinig ng mga boss nyo. Ba't hindi na lang natin i-cloud yan? Bakit magtatayo pa tayo ng data warehouse, storage, etc. Ang mahal-mahal ng mga computer. Then mag-rent na lang tayo dun sa mga PLDT at saka Globe, di ba? Then risk management, addressing all the IT risks to assist and manage all those risks. Resource management, inulit ko na lang kasi ito yung mga details ng implementing COBIT 5. And of course, performance measurement. It's always important to quantify. Kasi you need to know if you've done 100% of the project, 50% of the project on time, delivered with the money given to you. And that's your proof na you are actually delivering value. Iko-quantify nyo. So, IT governance, the same as enterprise architecture, is a dynamic process. Moving target siya. Pwede kong baguhin yun Pwedeng magpalit ng presidente, babaguhin yung IT governance. The ICT secretary, nagpalit na. So, wala pa pala, OIC pa rin. O, bakante pa. Pwede ba mag-apply? Ayoko na nag-overrate. Masaya na ako sa UP. Mag-educate, libre pa tuition, di ba? Ang pinaka-problema ko yung mga nagrarally na estudyante. Hayaan mo na sila, magrarally yan. Pag kumita yan, hihinto na rin magrally yan. So, IT governance is a dynamic and continuous process. Kailangan may monitoring. You need to monitor what's happening. Are you getting delayed with the project? Bakit kayo nadidelay? Nag-resign yung IT officer nyo. Sino ipapalit mo? Oo, kasi nag-open na kami ng masters, ng gano'n. So yun yung mga iniisip natin, what will we do with all this? It's not static. Kahit may architecture ka na, bahay nga, magpatayo ka ng bahay, ang daming problema Kasi tingnan mo yung plano mong una at yung natapos na bahay, baka iba na. Iba na, yung 7 banyo, naging 2 banyo na lang, di ba? Either kinulang ka ng budget, pwede mangyari yon, di ba? Either kinulang ka ng tao, kinulang ka ng hardware. So ito yung mga stakeholders, You need to keep talking to them. You need to have a conversation with them. Ito yung ginagawa sa akin ni Alvin Marcelo. I was undersecretary. Pinilit niya ako pumasok doon sa COBIT 5. 1 linggo. Hinahanap ako ng Secretary of Health. Tara ba si Dr. Herbosa? Kailangan ko siya dito sa DOH. Yung pala nasa COBIT 5 ako, hindi ako pwede mag-absent. Kasi lalagpak ako. Pag nag-absent ako, so I had to complete it. Nung na-complete ko, tuwan-tuwa siya. Kasi nga, at that time, I was the only undersecretary in the Philippines with a COBIT 5 certification. Yung mga kaklase ko, Malaysian, Thailand, Indonesia, kasi WHO sponsored. Gulat na gulat sila kay Dr. Marcel. Paano mo na-pa-attend ng isang linggo yung Deputy Minister of Health ninyo? Pero in the end, nakita ko, it became very useful kasi when we implemented the National ELS Strategic Plan, ako yung pinupuntahan ng IT people because we talk the same language. Ngayon, I'm back in UP. Parang ako yung de facto IT head kasi yung head ng IT sa akin pumupunta, hindi dun sa boss niya. Kasi siguro mas nakakakuha siya ng support sa akin. But that's fine with me. Ako naman, bumabalik ako dun sa boss niya. Utos na kasi executive vice president ako, vice president lang yung boss niya. So, gawa ka ng summit, ng IT summit. So, IT summit. Gawa ka ng IT audit. Sunod naman sila. So, that's how the IT guy is now using me there in UP. Hahanap tayo ng kakampi. Hahanap tayo ng padrino. Exactly. Wag mo lang ibenta katawan mo. And now, it's very important to have someone who will support you in the agency. Kasi kung dead man lang yung boss nyo, hawawa kayo, di ba? You will do a lot of work, you'll become frustrated, you'll probably just resign. Get a boss that will support you. Ang trabaho lang naman, uy, magaling yan. Very good. Galingan mo yan. Sige, tuloy mo yan. Di ba? Ganun lang naman kumisan ng ginagawa namin eh. Tapos next year, saka muna, yung budget ng IT, ilagay niyo yan. Di ba? Kasi once you have successes, hindi na kayo makakalimutan sa budget preparation. Kasi meron na kayong value eh. So yun yung importante sa governance. So humanap kayo ng kaibigan doon. Hindi sa executive management, you try to get, the higher they are, better. So ang gumagawa ng strategy ng isang organization is always the highest executive council. So inform yourself. Alamin nyo kung ano yung direksyon nila. Lalo ngayon, palitan ng palitan, very political. From Dilawan, naging DBS, di ba? So you need to find out, ano ba ang direksyon nito? Ano ang gusto nilang gawin? So align yourself with that. Ito yung sa OECD countries, sinifine nila yung principles of corporate governance. Sabi nila, the head must ensure a sound framework that exists to provide strategic guidance for the whole enterprise. It must monitor management of those strategic plans and oversee the integrity of the enterprise system and information. So, important ito. Dapat makumbinsin nyo, as IT people, mostly of you are the IT people, you need to convince your bosses that we have to align with the ICT. We need to make them knowledgeable. Minsan, ikaw ang voice niyo, di ba? Kaya kayo tinetrain nila dito. Kasi kayo yung magpo-propagate sa mga boss kung ano yung issuances ng DICT. Sila yung leader natin sa government. Eh. So we now follow them. Kung bakit sa mga siklista na they will set the pace and the direction. All you agencies will follow DICT based on that. Ask the right questions, let them interpret the answers. So pag sila tinanong sa DBM or sa Congress why they are investing this much in IT, masasagot nila. Hindi yung, I will ask my IT officer. Diba? So sila mismo can say on their own, that is needed because that will document all the Filipino artists in the country and become available to the whole world. Diba? Appropriate IT governance framework to be adopted and critical success factors to be addressed. So ito yung 4 fundamental questions na itatanong nyo. Ngayon, find out, are you doing the things right? Are we doing them the right way? Are we getting them done well? Or are we getting benefit? So kayo, may mga unit kayo, di ba? Tingnan nyo yung objectives nyo sa unit nyo. Sa heart center, are you helping the doctors perform more surgeries, admit more patients, become more efficient, shorten the waiting time of cabbage patients, billing with PhilHealth, nababayad ka agad, so the hospital has revenue. I'm making examples kasi mas alam ko yung sa health. So, but you can apply these questions to your own agency. let's look a little bit about COVID-5. Parang ano lang yun, tapos na yung introduction. So sabi ko nga, ito yung pinaka-keyword, no? Evaluate, direct, and monitor. At importante yung plan, build, monitor. Yan yung tinatawag natin. Plan, build, run, and monitor the project. So ito yun. Basically, you start with the enabler goals, the IT-related goals. Bababa mo yan to all of those goals that you want to do. So you use the benefits ng importante. Ito yung nakikita mo doon sa align, plan, organize. EDM 1, EDM 3, and 4. So ito yung tatlo na kailangan you are sure that your bosses understand. Yan yung exam nung ano kaya ang hirap-hirap eh. Kasi aaralin mo lahat yung mga EDM, papa-explain ko yan. So this is also from COBIT 5, from the book itself. It just gives you how it is. Di ba ito yung management or governance level? Ito yung governance, no? So you have business needs or corporate needs. You evaluate, direct. So you ask management to align, plan, organize, build, acquire, implement, deliver system support, and monitor, evaluate, and assess. So yan yung parang cycle niyan. So the bosses will get management feedback. Yung middle management, I suppose most of you are in this. So ito yung mga all under you. Mainly ito. Kasi kayo ang gagawa nitong plan and build. Yung frontliners nyo yung magpapatakbo ng sistema. And you probably will have someone else to do an IT audit or monitor the implementation. And important to look at the stakeholders. Sino ba ang stakeholders? Lahat. Yung supplier nyo, yung private sector, yung citizen, yung gumagamit ng services nyo, yung mga empleyado nyo, kayo, lahat, yung mga boss nyo, yung governing body. So, that's the idea. Owners, stakeholders, they delegate to a governing body, they set the direction, they ask management to do that, they instruct and align their operations, and they execute, and then they report back to management. The governing body monitors with the report, and then they send it back to their stockholders, kumbaga, sa corporate. Corporate kasi itong model na to. Tayo sa taxpayer. Back to the taxpayer. So ito yung importante. It's all about enterprise benefit. So think about this when you sleep here tonight. Ano ba ang nabigay niyong benepisyo sa ahensya niyo with your skills and knowledge in IT? Na-optimize niyo ba yung cost ng IT? Na-maintain niyo ba yung mga risk ng mga hacker? Na-prevent niyo ba yon? Nagkaroon ba ng operational excellence? Nag-generate ba kayo ng more business, more income? And did you have more quality information? Information na nagagamit ng boss to make a correct decision. Kasi pag quality information nyo, quality din yung decision niya. Diba? And that's called stakeholder value. Comprehensive framework that assists enterprise. I'm just showing you some of the topics. If you do indeed take the course, that they will teach you. All these boxes may chapter and may lecture. Ganun yung so these are the set of slides that I'm showing you now, stakeholder value. So it's very important. I'm glad the ICT has looked at COBIT 5. It helped me in the National eHealth Strategic Frame. I'm now using it as Executive Vice President of UP as well, the COBIT 5 implementation. So lumipat na ako from health to higher education administration. And I'm still using COBIT 5 principles. Thank you. Lapit na. So ito yung mga principles, no? Stakeholder needs, alam nyo dapat yon. So i-meet nyo sila, find out what they are, cover the enterprise end-to-end, strategic, apply single integrated framework, enterprise architecture, holistic approach, and separating governance from management. Kasi ang nangyayari, kadalasan, pinababayaan na yung IT. Kayong IT managers, bahala na yung IT managers, you still need the leadership and the governance to continue to support you. Lalo na, the more they don't understand it, the more you'll have a difficult time. You must be able to simplify the language of IT to them. Ano ba yung TOGAP? Dapat ma-explain mo sa kanya kung ano yung TOGAP. Diba? Ganun. Don't expect our bosses to be as IT literate as me. Expect them to be illiterate in terms of IT. And you need to translate your knowledge to convince them to work with you and for you. So ito pa yung mga enablers. Things that will make your, so pag nangyari yon, your boss will write principles or policies that will ask all members of the agency to use the IT. Pag sinabi ng hospital director, lahat tayo electronic medical record, sunod lahat. Di ba? O else, di ka pwede mag-admit ng pasyente. So, ganung klaseng importance yun. Principles, policies, framework, so lahat ng proseso, yung structure, babaguhin, i-elevate yung IT to a higher governance framework. Kultura, sabi niya, yan, problema namin. May mga doktor, yung pinaka-senior, takot sa computer. May pasyente, galit sa computer. Sabi nga ng pasyente, doktor, yung pasyente, yung nanay ko, hindi tinignan ng doktor. Nakaharap lang siya dun sa computer, dok-dok siya ng dok-dok doon. Kasi electronic medical record. Unintended consequence yan. Before, when I was writing, I talk to you, I have my eyes hooked on you, you're telling me your story, and then I make notes after you get out of the clinic. Eh ngayon, dahil I have to fill up, sabi ng IT group, kailangan electron. Type si doktor ko. You didn't even look at the eyes. Balik sa akin yung pasyente. O ayoko na ho dun sa doktor, hindi ako tinignan. Kasi ang tinitingnan lang daw yung computer. So these are unintended consequences of digitalization. Ano? Exactly. Ganun din. Yung FDA, digital yung application. Dati, pag may problema, may makakausap sila sa lamesa. Ngayon, bawal na. Bawal na. Okay. So, wala sila namang matawagan. Hintay lang sila. Parang visa application. So, pwede ba yun sa Pilipinas? Yun ang mga tanong ko. So, you need to have several stages. Kaya yung sabi ni Francis, di ba? Kailangan meron kang transition plan. Ang feeling ko, mangyayari lang yon pag namatay na yung mga baby boomer kagaya ko. I was born in 1958, so sabi nila baby boomer ako. Pero, I think like a millennial. May Facebook ako, may Twitter ako, may Instagram ako. So ito yung everything in, ito yung aaralin nyo kung magko-COBIT yung boss nyo. Or kayo, actually useful din sa inyo. Kasi you can go upwards and then you can just educate your boss. Hindi naman lahat ng boss kagaya ko willing kumuha ng exam. Na pwede kang lumagpak ha. Kahiya-hiya yun kung lumagpak ako. Di ba ikakalat ng mga Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, yung deputy minister kumuha. Actually, sa totoo lang, lumagpak po yung CIO ng PhilHealth. I hope wala siya dito. Kaklase ko siya. Kaya, ang pinalitan yung top notcher nung class namin. Siya ngayon yung CIO ng PhilHealth. TOGAP certified din. Yung mga TOGAP certified sa klase ko, mga top notcher. Pero ako, naintindihan ko ngayon on how to implement IT projects because of this certification. And ngayon, ginagamit pa ako ngayon ng DICT para bulahin kayo. Chubibo kayo. Hindi, actually, I'm happy they're doing that kasi nga, although we didn't really succeed with the e-health, it's still struggling, chug pa rin. At least there will be a wider implementation of e-gov. Baka ang tingin ko, baka some of you can implement this better than we did. Kasi health is complicated. Very complicated. So, merong available, downloadable, self-assessment tool. So you can assess your, may bayad pala yun. Sa members lang pala. Yung self-assessment is free. Yung toolkit ang may bayad. But the self-assessment is free. You just register it, tapos gagamitin. So you can assess your IT organization, your whole organization actually, and look at the elements of all of this. So you can download it. Screen grab lang to. Yun yung manual namin. Yung manual na yun, nakapangalan sa akin, PDF, i-email sa'yo, kaya hindi mo pwede i-share. Pag sinare ko siya, alam ng COBIT 5 na ako yung nag-share ng PDF na yun. Ako madidemanda. So ito yung parang rating level nung IT nyo doon sa capacity. So ito yung mga dadaanan. Again, like any other thing, it's a journey, it's a process. Ito yung mga self-assessment. Assess, determine capability, levels nyo, record, summarize, then you plan to implement a progress. It always starts with a snapshot. Gusto mo magpagawa po picture, selfie ka muna. Tapos tingnan mo kung anong gagawin mo sa hairstyle mo, sa makeup mo. Tsaka mo i-edit ng, ng software, papaganda. So, we just hope that DICT will help out. Itulong sa agencies that want to do. Baka sila na ang contact sa COBIT-5 sa ISACA. I don't know. Baka yun ang pwede. And then they can fund it. So you join it. Ang pinakamaganda, mag-COBIT-5 kayo, kasama yung CIO, tsaka yung boss. Di ba? Magkaklase sila. Yun ang parang magandang next project. Para, baka ma-develop kayo ng boss nyo. So, I want to emphasize on this. Kayo, the IT people, focus on quick wins to prioritize beneficial improvement. It's very important na pakitaan nyo. Huwag kayong bumanat dun sa mga long-term na makikita yung results, retired na kayo. Pakitaan nyo ng results. Low-lying fruit, ika nga. Go for the low-lying fruit. So, very important. It's not enough to have an enterprise architecture. I agree you need an enterprise architecture, but you actually need a strong leader. You need that leader. You have to look for that in the executive committee of your agency. Sino yung susuporta sa inyo? Sino yung papadrino sa inyo? Diba? Kailangan yung ihanapin yun. Kasi on your own, mahihirapan kayo. It will take you forever and ever. And then, iklaro nyo yung lahat ng proseso nyo, transparency, and of course, use a framework. Well, I'm not selling COBIT-5, but that's what I was trained in. So yun ang lecture ko. There are others you can use. Baka gumamit na kayo ng ibang governance framework, pwede na rin yun. Basta ang importante, mag-interoperate kasi we're going to do the e-government eventually. So ito na yung mga na-train ng WHO and the Asia e-Health Information Network. So all over Asia, we've trained about 30 in COBIT-5 Foundation. Ako yung isa dyan. 22. So, kita nyo, 30 kumuha, 22 lang ang pumasa. Sa implementation, may isang bumagsak. That's different countries in the Asian region. So, ito yung mga CIO ng iba-ibang Ministry of Health sa iba-ibang countries dito. Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India. And then we trained 12 already in the Philippines. Sabi nga sa akin, mas mahirap daw talaga yung TOGAP. Sabi sa akin ni Francis, medyo geeky daw yung exam. Pang geeks. So in summary, what did I talk about? IT governance. Why do we need it? Because of increasing complexity of the government, of business, of increasing regulatory framework, regulations, and inelastic budget. So we need to convince your bosses to spend more and buy the Apple that you need or the expensive software. Who everyone from top management all the way down to rank and file. Dapat naintindihan nila. They don't have to know the whole COBIT-5 framework. Kung delivery support services lang sila, ang alaman na nila matutunan manage operations, manage services requests and incidents, etc. Manage problems. So yun, ito na, dito na talaga yung framework niya. And then where? Within the organization. How? Use the framework. You can use any of the frameworks available in the MOOC. So anong parting message ko? Alas 6 na, sabi sa inyo, 80 slides to. It's a complex and rapidly changing world we live in. An IT governance framework like COBIT-5 can help us navigate volatile IT environment. And COBIT-5 is an industry-accepted IT governance framework. Na-realize ko, pag nakikipag-usap ako sa IT, saka sinasabi ko, alam mo, COBIT-5 certified ako. Medyo bumabagsak yung panganong IT. Parang, medyo parang okay na usapan namin. Pero nung hindi, parang, ano ba alam mo sa IT? Doktor ka naman di ba? So yun yung isang value nung nakita ko na nangyari na the IT people started to respect me also based on how to implement and listen to my suggestions. And in fact, sometimes my suggestions are better because it will allow them to implement the whole proposal. Okay, if you have any questions, you can email me. My email, I'm using the government allowed email, hindi Gmail, FB, puno na kasi yung FB Messenger ko, yung FB ko 5,000 friends na hindi ako nag-public figure So, FB Messenger, walang limit yan. Twitter din, walang limit. It's Teddy Bird, not Teddy's Bird. Maraming salamat. Good evening.